This is how I started charging $30 for a haircut, now charging $300 for a haircut. Crazy, huh? Barbers are often not respected in the world of money making. It's often seen as a thing you do for your family, your friends, for some quick cash, but how things change, huh? I'm gonna show you and drop some gems on how I built this side hustle into a business that can generate more than what doctors make. And mind you, I was actually on my way to becoming a scientist slash doctor, and I honestly can't wait to show you what I've learned and these gems that I'm gonna provide. This is my first YouTube video, and I'm here to show you the things that I've learned on my journey, regardless of what industry you're in. One quick story of how I started all this. It's 2020, it's lockdown. We're in lockdown for 274 days. So that's nearly a whole ass year. During that period, I was super discontent with not doing anything, sitting around doing nothing, just basically being still and staying stagnant. That's just not me. So I said, that I'm gonna go out there and do something. So I analyzed the market. What can I do right now? I said, we can't go out. Every business was closing down. Can't even drive, can't even do nothing. Can't even find a job. I was thinking to myself, what can I do? If anything, this is probably the worst time to start something. And that's when I had my light bulb moment. One thing I realized was that everyone needed haircuts. By the third, fourth month into the lockdown, people were going insane. It was crazy. One easy entry was barbering. If I come out of this, at least I get a new skill. At least I get something out of it. Why not? Let's try it out. I'm cutting my friend's hair, cutting my little brother's hair, and 10 heads into my barbering career, I realized how shit I was. But I quickly realized that even though my haircuts were shit, I solved one problem. And that one problem in the market was men's self-esteem. And I knew that in business, if you solve a problem in a market, you can succeed. If I could sell this intangible thing that's confidence, it's priceless. I get out of high school and I had two options. I had to choose between my scholarship for radiation science at Monash University or this bum side hustle operating out of a Shrek shack. Can you guess which one I picked? It was tiny. It was like at the front door. It had like, you know where you put all your shoes? You know how aunties and uncles, when they come home, they had a bunch of shoes there. You couldn't even turn the chair. The guy had to stand up and then come back down and sit down. I was like, oh, bro, can you turn this way? This way. I operated out of that. Reason why the decision that I made, I had multiple jobs. One thing I learned for sure during the time that I worked for many jobs, I'm not going to be working for someone the rest of my life because they have so much control over your freedom. Who you work with, when you work, how much you get paid, when you leave. These are ultimately your freedom factors. Doing what you want, when you want, how you want. Being your own boss, you can build your own legacy. Why would you build someone else's legacy? So that was a no-brainer that I wanted to become my own boss. I'm setting up the studio. I got a good foundation of cutting, like 12 cuts a day at $30 a cut. If I was to choose the uni route, I honestly would have had a limit and a ceiling put on my potential. As I was setting up my studio, and I found my diary that I had when I was in 3rd to 4th grade. And during this diary I read, I'm like, damn, I totally forgot about this diary that I found. It's documentations, journaling about my sticker business. So I made handmade stickers, small ones for $3, medium ones for $4, large ones for $5. Even though I failed, tapping into my inner child and having this whole actualization that my inner child was once a businessman. That gave me all the conviction I needed to succeed in my business right now. And I believe that it's the programming of this world that water us all down. From having to fold, to listening to teachers' instructions, to letting tests and exam results determine your intellectual capability, and also trying to fit into what everyone else is doing when you should just be yourself. And the moment I realized this is the changing point, and I started all this. Problems I had on this journey to $300. My goal was to get to $100. That came with a lot of self-doubt. A lot of times during that journey, I always had this self-doubt of, can I even do this? Your mind starts playing against you and your mind starts telling you things to stop you from doing what you need to do and stop you from your potential. Your friends and family will tell you, oh bro, you're crazy. Like $100, bro, it's just a small business. They'll be like, oh, you're dreaming, bro. And yes, I was dreaming. Please dream big. And there's this quote, shoot for the moon because even if you miss, you land among the stars. When you're planning your goals, set your bar high. Even if your brain tells you, no bro, you can't do that, fight against that resistance because it's natural. I had it. I'm sure a lot of the greats in the world had that same resistance as well, but they chose to fight against that resistance. My second problem was complacency. Once you start getting a bit of traction, you start getting a bit of results, like your social media starts popping off, your platforms are doing decent, you start getting booked out every week, making decent money. What comes with that is you start becoming comfortable. You start becoming a little bit complacent and just, you're like neutral, you're like chilling, you know? You're like, yeah, I'm happy, I'm making this much. Yeah, I feel good, I'm cool, I'm gonna stay here. And when you stay here, that's a very dangerous place to be in. The dangerous thing about it is you don't know you're in danger. You start developing the I deserve it syndrome. You start like, oh, yeah, I'll take a break. And then you just slowly go back down. Like, you're not in a bad position, but you're not in a great position either. You're just chilling. And when you're in this position, you could be in for 2 weeks, 2 months. Some people will go in for 2 years. Some of you guys know people from back then who you see and they're still the same. And you've got to realize that everything you've done has gotten you this far. If you want to push the boundaries and chase for excellence and chase for fulfillment, completion, greatness, leave a mark on this world and have a little bit of attain something that's intangible, you've got to push the boundaries. You've got to be pushing yourself on all areas of your life. That could be physically with gym, that could be your knowledge, reading, studying, that could be creating content, whatever field you're in, and looking for new ideas, constantly being in this learning and growing state. All of these things that I'm saying don't even relate to business or barbering or whatever. But my guys, you don't have business problems, you have personal problems that bleed into your business. You've got to max out all areas of your life. So the cut in the beard is 200. Bro, next week I'm going 250 for a haircut, 300 for a beard. What's your honest thoughts on that? $300 for a haircut is way too expensive. Yes, it is expensive. But the thing is that my services are not for everyone. Let's look at Beats. They sell premium headphones and have the culture and reputation of having very good quality. But did you know that the production cost is only $14 to manufacture? And they sell it at $500 plus. Do people complain? And yes, I agree that my services are on the higher spectrum of haircuts. And once I learned how to separate my personal, emotional decisions from my business decisions, am I going to use the personal, emotional decision making for my business? No. I would put on the business decision making hat and make the best possible decision I can make. It's like chess, making the best possible move on the chessboard. That's what I did. I separated myself from my business, and that way I didn't care what other people said as well. And whoever wants my service can come to me. I'm not putting a gun to your head. So the main message here is if you chase for mastery in whatever field you're in, you will succeed and you will be able to charge whatever you want to charge on it. As long as you can match your quality, the way you present your business, the way you present yourself, how you operate, then you will be rewarded. Simple as that. How my lifestyle changed going from $30 to $300. The first thing is the people you're around and the environment. Your environment and the people you're around play a big role on who you are. The majority of people now are around dull people going to work. They're around other colleagues and in the work environment and they don't want to be there. And I bet you everyone else in there doesn't want to be there with you. You're around an environment that is not that fruitful in growth. Everyone's staying still, they're just working a wage. So there's really not much opportunity to grow. But when you have your own business and you're elevating yourself, and when you elevate your business, you elevate the people that you're around. And the people that come to me for a haircut, they're very inspiring people. I have guys who have their own business, have their own goals. I have guys that have their own thing going for themselves, even kids, right? I've got 14, 15-year-olds that are in F3 trying to make F1. I've got this 16-year-old that is selling high-end watches that are hustling. To be around this youthful, hungry energy is super refreshing, especially in a world that we live in. It's like I'm selecting all the G's and they all come to me. You get a lot of different insights. I get insights from financial advisors, get insights from doctors, get like these niche industries that you wouldn't even know come to you and give you advice, and they come with the best energy. And what comes with that is my routine and my lifestyle. My life isn't just cut, sleep, repeat. I'm a Muay Thai fighter that currently has 4 fights with 0 losses. I'm a practicing Muslim that prays 5 times a day, weightlifting, studying, student of life. I have this routine that creates a balance in all areas of my life, and that balance is one of the key foundations to where I am today. Being able to develop and sculpt this balance and routine in my life, it's a game changer. This is my first YouTube video, so a little bit of feedback will go a long way for me. I am keen to start pumping it out. I want to be able to create and give something attainable and tangible for you guys to take away and implement and see the results that you guys can get as well. And I would truly appreciate it if you would just spare a couple seconds just to chuck down what you guys would like to see from me. So press that subscribe button and expect more from me, because man, I'm gonna be dropping bangers.